Hello and welcome to this Modurol video. Today's video is all about the J-gate or the gear selector. In this video we're going to show you the different types used on the X100, but more importantly actually remove it as part of our manual transmission swap together with this blanking plate underneath, which actually reveals a big hole in the tunnel where a manual gear shift can come through. This is a typical J-gate from a 4-litre car. It has 5 speeds. You can tell because you can only restrict it to gear 4, 3 and 2. If you've got a 6-speed car, you'll have 5, 4, 3, 2 on the left-hand side of the J-gate. Now, other than that, everything else is pretty common. You've got 5 electrical connectors on the J-gate. There's 3, an orange, grey and a white one for the various microswitches in the mechanism. There's the gear selector main connector itself, and there's an individual connector here for the shift interlock solenoid, which stops you starting the car without being in park and the brake being pressed. That can actually be defeated by putting a screwdriver in here, and there's a little switch or a little lever you can actually overcome to allow that to happen. Mechanically then, this is actually bolted down with 4 nuts and bolts, actually studs on the car. There's one here, one at each side, one at the front, one each side. There's another one there, and there's one hidden right at the front, which if you watch the rest of the video you'll see I missed that one initially. There is also the gear selector cable which attaches to here and here, which also needs to be removed. So as you move the gear stick around the J, this moves along and moves a gear position sensor on the gearbox. So there you go, that's the selector, gear selector. This is the shift plate or the shift cover plate. Such a nice piece of formed metal pressing, and it has a bit of a retaining clip here for the heat shield. The heat shield actually finishes here, which will become obvious later. Okay, so we can start to show you how we removed the J-gate. But before we do that, you need to remove the center console, which I'll show you in a different video up here. I'm not going to repeat that information. And then after you've done that, the first thing we're going to address is this gear selector cable. Okay, so in order to remove the nut, you need a 10mm spanner. That should undo very easily. And then for the this adjuster pair of nuts here is a 24mm spanner. So let me just get those off. So one thing I've noticed, obviously, this 10mm nut here, the whole shaft is just spinning. I need to get a spanner on the back. So in order to get it off, you need the 10mm on the front and lock nut and a 13mm spanner on the back to get it undone. Okay, the nut is off, and then the wire just comes off like that. Now I just need to undo this nut now. Okay, so I've just loosened that nut off and the whole thing slides out. It's slotted. So there you go, there's the gear selector cable undone. I've just put the nut back on there just so we don't lose it. Okay, so I'm going to remove the J-gate now. There are 3 nuts, one there, and one over here, just under there. Before I do that, I need to disconnect everything. So there's 3 microswitches along the right hand side, a yellow one, a grey and a white one. Need to unplug all those. I've already unplugged the nut in part because I need that for Glenn's MCM, and the gear selector socket is also loose already. I will have to disconnect the what's that, the interlock solenoid loom there, and then so to disconnect these connectors you just depress this little tab and they just flick off. Easy as that, in theory. Depress, pull. Okay, that one I've already done, and I think I'll leave the solenoid one till after I've got the thing loose, just to get a bit better access. So I'm just using a 10mm socket and driver to undo these nuts. That one's fairly loose. I noticed the J-gate is actually slotted here, so I'll take this all the way to the top, but won't remove it. The one on the side here, I think I'll get the two on the side off, and then see where we are. The last bit I'll do by hand, so I can get the nut. There you go, one nut out. Put that there for a moment. Just this one to do. Okay, so I've got that one off as well. That's now clear. Actually taken that, I've undone the three, I've actually taken that nut off as well, and it's still tight. So I've actually discovered there's one there at the front at the bottom as well. I think you can just see it there. So we need to take that one off as well. Okay, so I've got all four nuts off now, so in theory it should just lift off. Oh, there you go. I've removed the J-gate. Oh, I've forgotten the solenoid. So the solenoid connector, you need to depress this little piece here and pull it out. Oh, there you go. Done it. I don't know if you can see it in the light here. There's this little piece at the top there. We need to depress that bit there. Interestingly or worryingly, underneath there are some bits of debris. I've got sort of what looks like some sort of rivet or a hinge, and actually this looks like the armature of one of the microswitches. So there was a problem brewing there. You might have noticed all these little tags on the loom. So Glenn has supplied the MCM and the wiring loom, and he's labelled every connector with where it needs to be plugged into. So what I've been doing, I've been basically replicating the same thing on the other side of the on the loom car, just so that once that J-gate was disconnected, I know what everything is, and where it's not actually required, I've just labelled it not required, and I'm going to wrap that in tape there. Obviously this interlock solenoid, there is the part of the loom for that to plug into, or Glenn's loom, so I'll plug that in as well. If ever there was evidence that Jaguar always intended the XK8, XKR, X100 to have a manual transmission, it's here. This is actually a blanking plate sitting in the gear shift position right underneath the J-gate on an automatic one. It's basically a plate over the top of the transmission tunnel that a manual transmission gear stick will protrude through without any issue. So I think this is a proof that Jaguar did intend this car to be manual, but it never happened because of the Aston Martin linkage with the Premier Automotive Group at the time. Okay, so we got the J-gate out. We've got this blanking plate underneath this now, which is actually sat on top of the tunnel. There are two nuts two here, and there are two at the top. It's all underneath this sound deadening stuff. There are one there and one in the other corner. Over here, oh there it is, it's just up there. Can you see that one? So I'm just going to take those out too. Again, I'm using the a 10mm socket with this socket driver. The nuts all seem to be hand tight. I'm not using a ratchet or any leverage to get these nuts off. That was the same for the J-gate. Okay, so we've removed the four nuts, but this plate still does not want to come off. So it looks like it's got a bead of sealant or as a gasket all the way around the edge to seal it up, obviously protecting the tunnel and the interior from the tunnel. So let's have a look from underneath. Okay, so I'm under the car now, and you can just see the edge of that plate exposed here beyond the this aluminium, just behind all this insulation material. So I'm going to have to flick this off. I might be able to push this up and it'll start to break the seal. We'll see how we get on with that. So I think this tab here is actually part of that bracket. Okay, inside it's pushed up clear. I just need to get it off those back bolts. There you go. The cover plate is off, revealing the hole and that insulation. Obviously this will have to be all cut away to make room for the gear selector. Just while I've got it, you can see this bit here is actually part of the bracket. You can see a bit of the foam there, the foam seal all around, so I'll probably have to renew that. Obviously I've missed that bit there, that bit's come off. What's interesting when you look at the heat shield here is it's got a slight return there, and there's a bit of a gap. When you look at the info plate, you can see why. It's got that sort of wedge shape to it, which must mean the tunnel's actually slightly sloping downwards at this point, and the heat shield's making room for the J-gate and that taper on the blanking plate. Underneath the car you can see that return here. This can all be flat now because I don't need that taper. Actually I could do with more clearance probably, I think. So I'm going to try and get rid of that. I'm going to try and push this back up, reform the heat shield. So how I'm going to do that, I'm going to basically use a rubber hammer, and I'm basically going to beat that back. Let's see how that looks from the top. Losing that sort of shelf now, that return. Okay, from the top it's looking a bit better now. I don't want to cut too much of this heat shield off, so I'm going to make sure it's all flush with the body before I start cutting. That seems to be working. Okay, that's it finished now. I've reformed it. I just need to cut away the excess now. underneath, you can see I've got rid of that sort of different level, and it's all pretty flush with the tunnel now. So I've just cut back and folded this heat shield back a bit so I can put the gear stick in. I've got the gearbox underneath the car now. I'm just going to jack that up and do a bit of a test fit. There's no clutch fitted or anything at the minute. And another step in our manual transmission swap. Next for us then is actually presenting the gearbox and the gear selector mechanism underneath the car and checking for clearances and any adjustments we need to make. Anyway, take a look out for that video in our series. Thank you very much for watching. Please like, comment, share and subscribe for more XK8 videos. Bye bye.